How's it going, everybody? We are back again for another Dokkan battle video. And alright folks, the 6th-year anniversary is getting very close. From the time of this recording, we are mere days away. The in-game announcements are here for the free-to-play story events, so I thought I'd make a quick, simple, free-to-play guide for you guys on all the new free-to-play units that are coming out for the 6th-year anniversary and what you need to know and how many of each unit you need to grind up, because not only are all of these guys going to Dokkan Awaken, one of them is going to awaken all the way to an LR. They're all also going to EZA as well. So it's going to be very important that you guys pay attention in case you don't know what you're doing. This is mainly for some of my newer players who've never really done this before. I assume for most of my veteran players, you probably know the whole spiel by now. But without further ado, let's hop right into everything that you need to know. So, number one, we are going to be getting a new LR Master Roshi. You can pull him up right here. Yep, there you go. So we're getting a new free-to-play Master Roshi unit for the 6th-year anniversary. He will not be able to awaken until Part 2 of the celebration, and then EZA until Part 3 of the celebration. Now, the thing with LR Master Roshi, as I put into my guide, you are going to need 30 total copies of the physical Master Roshi. You need 15 for the original Rainbow Star, then you need 5 extra copies for the EZA copy, and then when you awaken him to an LR, you need 10 extra copies so that you get that free SA20 for your Rainbow copy as well. So total of the amount, 30 Master Roshis you need to obtain for this. Obviously, the extra, free-to-play EZA one, the 5 extra ones, you will be using so you get that free SA15, so that way you don't have to waste any Kais or anything like that. The same applies for basically all the other free-to-play units. Obviously you're going to need 20 of each of these guys. For my newer players, if you don't have the physical UI Goku, you will need 20 copies. 15 for the initial full Rainbow, full dupe, and everything else, and then 5 extra copies for the free SA15 for them. And if you already have physical UI Goku for some of my veteran players, of course, then you only need 5 extra copies for his free-to-play EZA, right? So all in all, it's going to be a lot of grinding to do, but it's well worth it. Some of these units are going to be very good. Master Roshi's insane. In particular, the TN and Master Roshi unit is by far one of the best support units for this celebration. The physical UI Goku is very good. The Int Android 18 and Krillin unit is very underwhelming, I would say, but all in all, they're not too bad of a unit. So let's quickly talk about LR Master Roshi here, right? So he does implement the new mechanic, the revival mechanic. He's the first free-to-play unit to do so. He is also the leader of the new Turtle School category that will come out during the celebration. Now, the thing about him, right, he's a very whack free-to-play unit. He's not like your typical one, because you see this right here? Raises attack by 628% for one turn. So it's very weird, and I know I will, like I said, I'll go over him, especially when I actually awaken him and do a couple of different videos on him. So this is before he EZAs. He has 100% defense at the start of turn. He also has a 30% chance to dodge attacks, which is nice. Turtle School category allies, key 2, and 30% attack and defense. That's very nice to see. And also, by the way, Turtle School category is consisted of basically Master Roshi, Krillin, and every single Goku in the game. So that's a pretty stat category, all things considered, right? Then he has when HP is 50% or less upon entering an attack in turn, and there are 2 or more Turtle School category allies on the team. If the character or an ally attacking in the same turn receives a KO attack, you revive and recover 50% of HP. It's cool. It's not like anything crazy, because I'm sorry to be perfectly honest here, but realistically, once Turtle School category gets like an actual leader or something like that, say like another Goku unit or something like that, realistically, you're not going to be running this Master Roshi. He's definitely a cool and fun unit, but all likelihood, just given the amount of Gokus that are on that team, like there's, a whole bunch of different other Gokus, like Goku units I would be running over this guy, but it's definitely a nice little mechanic to see. when you fall below 50% HP and you have, you know, 2 or more Turtle School category allies, which isn't difficult whatsoever, and you like die in that turn, you do the revival mechanic and recover 50% HP. It's definitely cool, and I think it's a lot easier than some of the other revival mechanics. LR UI Goku's and in Evolution Blue Vegeta's mechanics are much more difficult to obtain, so it's definitely more free-to-play friendly than UI Goku or Blue Evolution Vegeta, which is very, very cool to see. Now post EZA, he has basically the same thing for the most part. Now on his 18 key super attack, he does do guaranteed seal. He gives himself extra defense. His dodge chance remains the same. His support goes up to 40% attack and defense and 3 key, which is really, really nice. So in hindsight, you probably will be running this guy as support, but that's really about it. And then they didn't do anything with his revival mechanic as far as the conditions go. However, instead of 50%, you do 60% HP as well. And then he also has an active skill, Kamehameha, can be activated after the character receives 7 or more attacks in a battle, and there is another Turtle School category ally attacking in the same turn. So it's not really like that great. Yes, this guy is going to be pretty solid defensively, but with his built-in dodge, I don't know. It's just like, it's not something you're going to see very commonly, because he has that 30% chance to dodge, and then you need 7 or more attacks to activate it. So you're only going to see this in long events, and you know, as the event goes on, you're not going to really want to use this guy as a defensive unit. You know, his defense is good, but it's not like jaw-dropping, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, he's a really, really cool free-to-play unit. I definitely think he's going to be fun for a lot of players. So like I said, highly recommend you grind him up. He's going to be extremely fun. That's a new LR in the box as well for you collection guys as well. So that's always fun to see. Now, these guys, these are by far the best of the bunch, I would think, in my personal opinion. The Master Roshi and Tien unit. Attack and defense plus 40%, plus an additional 10% attack and defense with each attack received, up to 40%. And then here's the main part. Wrestle Universe 7 category allies, key 1, and attack and defense 20%, which is not great, I know, but then it goes up to 3 key, 40% attack and defense post their EZA, which will come in part 3 of the celebration, which is absolutely nuts. And then they also have a lot of solid links for that team. Cold Judgment, solid support, tournament power, experienced fighters. A lot of different units on that team have these links. So all in all, this is by far one of the best free-to-play units to run. If you're running Reps of Universe 7, team in general, which a lot of you will be doing, I can imagine, then this guy is an absolute must-run on that team. And then, like I mentioned on my guide, you will need 20 copies in total, 15 for the Rainbow Star, 5 extra copies for the free SA15 post-EZA. Now, let's move on to Android 18 and Krillin. So nothing in particular is like special with them. They are a nuking unit. They changed physical key spears to ink type key spears, launches an additional attack with 6 or more ink key spears obtained, and then attack and defense 20% with each attack performed. Post their EZA, however, they launch an additional attack with 5 or more ink key spears obtained, attack and defense 30% with each attack performed. They're not like anything super good, unfortunately. Like I'll do a, a first impressions video like for them, but in hindsight, they're probably the worst of the free-to-play bunch, in my personal opinion. I definitely don't think they're better than, Tien and Master Roshi, physical UI Goku, and definitely not LR Master Roshi. But it's still cool to see this unit nonetheless. But like I said, anything special. And then, of course, we have the Dokkan Awakening of the physical UI Goku. He will not come until part 2 of the celebration, however, but he does get a nice awakening and EZA. So now, upon his Dokkan Awakening, he gains 80% attack and defense, and then Universal Survival Saga category allies 3 key. But then that changes, and now upon his EZA, 120% attack and defense, universal survival saga category allies, 3 key, 30% attack and defense, and then a 50% chance to dodge enemy attacks. He is very, very good for a free-to-play unit. By far, probably one of the better free-to-play units in the game. And then, unfortunately, Global does not have the same name update currently, but when the same name update comes out on Global, he's basically going to be a must-run, because obviously, until the same name update comes out on Global, you're not going to be running this guy over UI Goku or SCR UI Goku, but then when the same name update comes out, you definitely want to be running this guy on Universal Survival Saga, because that's 3 key, 30% attack and defense, and then 50% chance to dodge. So he's probably one of the best defensive support type units in the game, because he's just dodging all the time, basically. So a great free-to-play Dokkan Awakening and a great EZA. Definitely looking forward to running this guy on a lot of my different teams. Great EZA, by far. I'm so happy they finally awakened him after, like, 3 to 4 years now of being in the game, so glad to see he's finally getting some love. And like I said, you will need to, if you don't have him at all, for my newer players, 28 copies, again, 15 for the Rainbow and 5 extra for the free SA15. Or if you are a have-him Rainbow like me, for my veteran players, of course, then you will only need 5 extra copies for the free SA15. And that is it. That is going to be all the new free-to-play units that are coming out during the anniversary. So, like I mentioned before, these 3 are coming out in part 1 of the celebration, which will go live in like a few days from now, not even. You can grind up all the copies of these guys. Part 2 is when physical UI Goku, Dokkan Awakens, and LR Master Roshi, that you can only awaken Master Roshi until the TUR Master Roshi. Part 2 of the celebration, you can then awaken him into an LR, and then part 3, all of these guys will EZA during part 3. So definitely start grinding. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it's definitely going to be well worth it. Make sure you also have a lot of Zenny grinded up. There's gonna be like 6 different EZAs throughout the celebration. So please start grinding your Zenny if you haven't already. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on the next one.
I have spoken.